Glad to be here with you to present our French study about developmental play therapy and the follow-up of 90 children along 2 years. Was published this year in BMC Pediatrics Review. And developmental play therapy is also called 3I for individuality, intensivity, and interactivity. Individuality because children are in one-to-one each with an adult. The originality of this method is adults are not professionals, but they are volunteers that agreed to come to play 1 or 2 times in a week with the child. Volunteers are recruited and trained by the 3I Association, and they are taught to have no expectation, no educative or pedagogical expectations from the child, no expecting a precise behavior, but just to join the child, to connect with him by following his initiatives or his interest. It's in the same spirit, I think, that pact therapy or because the point is not to communication of interaction of the child to encourage and increase this behavior of communication and expression. The intensivity 30 hours by week of play therapy, and later in the later stage this time is reduced in order to allow some time of socialization in small group of children and inclusion in school. Room is generally at home. It's not too big to allow to be reassuring for the child, and objects are out of reach of the children to help him to ask. And there are sometimes twofold objects to encourage imitation and reciprocity. That's a good way to be in contact with, to be connected with the child, with the same child with another adult, and with you see, listening the child, following the child. The room is. With attenuating noise and lights to respect sensory specificities or difficulties of the children. We published also in BMC Pediatrics, and it was a prospective one about 20 children during 2 years also, and we found significant increases in Vineland socialization and communication, NADA limitation, scale, PEP-R, CARS, and ADI scores. And there was no control group, but it was interesting to see that there was a positive correlation between intensity of intervention and progresses in interaction, in socialization. The progresses are related to the intervention. And also, we tried to do a comparison with the French cohort, the Baghdadi cohort, which used the same scales, Vineland and CAS, and we saw that the progress in socializations were significantly better in our cohort. The study on 90 subjects, it was a retrospective one, We plan to include all children that began the method, the intervention between 2013 and 2018, but some of them stopped the method or refused the test. And finally, we had 90 children. The mean age was 5 years old, and most of them had a diagnosis of typical autism. Most of them were non-verbal, and some of them had comorbidity, and they were not excluded from the study. So you see, our sample is very impaired children. The two scales were the ADR and the CARS. With the ADR, because this assessment are made systematically with this intervention. Regarding ADR, there was significant progresses, and half of the subjects can move from a category of typical autism to atypical autism, and even some of them move out of autism spectrum disorder. And also there were again a positive correlation between the intervention and the intensity of intervention and the progresses. With the CARS, we found the same results, with a significant decrease in severity and autism severity, and change of category. Comparing again with Baghdadi cohort, French cohort, we found regarding CARS a better decrease in the cohort 3I compared with that of Baghdadi. And so, in conclusion, this study lacks of a control group. Unfortunately, it's difficult to realize. We hope to do that. But we find results showing that intensity allow better progresses, that show that the intervention is responsible for the progress, and not it's not just the developmental way of the child. We are preparing a study on quality of life of the children that we are writing.